Well, tonight, a few guys are in Washington, D.C. having a cold one. They just happen to be a Harvard professor, a police officer from Cambridge, Massachusetts, and the President of the United States. They're sitting down to try to hash out what happened when Professor Henry Louis Gates and Sergeant James Crowley had an encounter that led to a national debate about race in America. And tonight, the president, who has downplayed the notion of a beer summit, is trying to tap into that. Chip Reid is at the White House tonight. And Chip, the president said earlier today he preferred to call this a chat. But will anything substantive come out of it, do you think?
Well, you know, Katie, we have asked White House officials repeatedly if there's going to be any follow-up to this meeting, if there's going to be any effort to make this a teachable moment, as the president has said, for the nation on race relations. And the answer has basically been no.
In the Rose Garden today, the three men who ignited a national firestorm over racial profiling sat down for a beer. Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates and police sergeant James Crowley, who arrested Gates in his own home, were invited by the president to talk about lowering the temperature on race. The president said he hoped to turn this controversy into a teachable moment for the nation. But today, he downplayed expectations for what has become known as the Beer Summit.
This is not a summit, guys. This is three folks having a drink at the end of the day and hopefully giving people an opportunity to listen to each other. And that's really all it is.
In fact, though, for the president, it's also about political damage control, a photo op the White House hopes will quell the furor created by the president's own words.
The Cambridge police acted stupidly.
That comment infuriated many police officers.
I think the president should make an apology to all law enforcement personnel.
He did not apologize, but did later express regret for making the situation worse.
I obviously helped to contribute ratcheting it up.
But that did not end the debate. Some conservatives have recently gone so far as to call the president a racist.
This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people.
I'm sure you noticed that Vice President Biden also joined the conversation. I'm sure you also noticed that the cameras were kept at a great distance to make sure the conversation remained private. Also, the president is not expected to comment after the meeting. It's all part of the White House strategy to just try to get this issue to go away. Katie?
Chip Reid at the White House tonight. Chip, thank you.